Hey everyone, Cynthia Petty here with NovaTech, and today we're going to be going over your genealogy tree, how to build your downlines and use the holding tank. So NovaTech uses a hybrid version of a unilevel. Now typically with a unilevel, every single person you sign up goes on your first level. All right, and that can be a little problematic sometimes because although it's a very simple model to learn and build on, you don't really create much synergy between your teams because every single time you enroll somebody, it falls on your front line. So your team doesn't benefit from any spillover whatsoever, and every new person who's enrolling is basically building on their own without any assistance from their upline. It also creates a lot of different legs that you have to manage as well. Now, there's also another version of that, which is a binary. And a binary, you place either left or right. It all goes down in the same one or the other leg. That model also only pays you typically on the smaller volume. All right, and that can also sometimes be a little difficult to build teams because you can only place on the outside of those legs. What we did was a hybrid version, okay, which is a matrix, and that matrix allows you to be able to place anywhere you want in your downline, which means you can now benefit your teams by providing them spillover, and you can do that without losing your levels or your direct sponsorships. Because typically in a unilevel, the only way to achieve that is to give your sponsorship away so that they can enroll somebody and keep building, and that means you also lose commissions as well. So in this system, you'll be able to place anywhere you want to, and you can look at several different factors to see where best to place somebody, including, you know, who on your team may need some additional assistance and can benefit from the volume, who lives where, maybe what geographical location, so that you can kind of use that as a team building factor so that people in the same geographical location maybe aren't competing with each other. But it really does give you a great deal of flexibility. Now, when you enroll somebody, they go into what we call a holding tank. Now, in your menu, okay, you'll see here an option that says user placement. That's where you would go to find anyone who enrolled underneath you. Now, very important, they stay in that holding tank for only a period of 48 hours, but that allows you enough time to check your tank daily and see if there's anybody in there that needs to be placed. And if you're going to place them, then all you have to do is go into the user placement. You'll find a list of every single person in your downline, and then you can choose where you want to place them. And then they'll go to that person's first line. Now, very important when you're doing this, you're not losing the level because this is done by generation. So although that person will pick up the volume, it still remains your first level for commission purposes. Then all you're going to do is check and approve, and they'll be placed into the downline. Now, once that's done, you're going to see something that occurs like this. So this is your traditional downline and how it would build, with everybody in blue being your first level. However, now you have the ability to add somebody, and you can place them here, for example, and they'll start to build, and then this becomes your second level and your third level without having to lose anything in between. So this is a great way for you to be able to place where your team may need the volume or where you may personally need the volume, because there are certain requirements that are needed in order to reach rank, and that includes group volume. So this is a great way to provide your team with group volume. Now, one thing you want to be mindful of, again, you can place anywhere in your downline that it's needed, including, you know, something like this, where you can place your first levels one underneath the other. Why would you do something like that? Well, you may have a leg that you're assisting and you don't want to be all over the map, which is pretty much what I would recommend doing. Find what, you know, where in your teams the volume is needed, and then build all the way down. Because by doing that, you're creating volume here that will go all the way throughout the upline, versus if you're building on inside legs and then maybe you're only benefiting a few. So check to see where the volume is needed, place there. But once you have a placement, I typically recommend avoiding being all over the map and building straight down. Okay, so let's talk about what is actually needed to achieve ranks, because this is the reason why we provided our users with the ability to get spillover from their uplines this way, because there are 3 factors needed in order for you to achieve rank. One is your own personal volume, which is your investment in the trading program. The second is your group volume, which is where this benefits your teams. And then you also need some rank requirements within your downlines. And you'll find all of that in the detailed compensation plan. But here, if you take a look at this model, which is our first position, the Platinum Associate, you need your own personal volume of $500, okay? And that's a bronze package invested with us. Now, in addition to that, you need your group volume of $25,000. Now, using our scenario here, which has 5 legs, again, you don't need more than 2 or 3 legs, but most people we find are averaging between 3 to 5 legs. So the volume does need to be distributed evenly, because no one leg can have a max volume of more than $15,000 to count towards your rank. Now, why did we do it that way? We did it so that you can evenly distribute the volume in order to help your teams, but also technically, if we allowed all the volume to come from one leg in order to reach rank, then what would happen is one person can reach rank, let's say in this case of 25,000, and it would cause everyone in their upline to also reach rank because the volume is distributed throughout the upline. So we had to avoid a situation where one person can cause an entire upline to also reach rank and get commission from that. That would be very bad for our setup. So it does have to be distributed. So in this example, for example, a Platinum Associate, the volume can come anywhere from your downline, provided it is somewhat evenly distributed. So in this example, leg 1 has 25,000. Now, leg 2 has 2,000, leg 3 has 1,000, leg 4, 300, and leg 5 at $500. Now, looking at this model, one would think, okay, I've hit Platinum Associate. I have a total of, 25, 7 volume just in one leg. All right, this person, for example, has more than $28,000 in volume. However, only 15,000 of it is the max volume, which can come from any particular leg. So if you look at the math underneath here, leg 1, although it has $25,000, only 15,000 of it can be attributed towards the rank. So if you continue to add the volume from leg 2, 3, 4, and 5, the total volume is actually 18,800 of qualifying volume. But remember, 25,000 is needed to hit this position, so this person would not qualify. However, if you take the same scenario and distribute the volume more evenly, let's say leg 1 still has 25,000, but leg 2 has 12,000, everything else remaining the same, you now have math that actually adds up to 25,000 or more, because leg 1, although 15,000 is being attributed, leg 2 has 12,000. So that alone is 27,000, along with the balance of the other legs, adds onto the volume needed to qualify. So again, we do this because your upline won't typically have that same distribution. This is your distribution from your downline, so it qualifies you for a position. In order for your upline to qualify for the same position, they would have to do the same, meaning they can't just reach rank because you've reached rank yourself. Now let's look at our second position, which is junior executive. In this case, let's say you have a volume again of $500, but notice the personal volume needed here is 2,500. Group volume to reach junior executive is 50,000. So again, using the same distribution, leg 1 having 5,000, leg 2 60,000. Again, somebody might look at it and say, well, I have more than the 50,000. Why am I not reaching rank? For this one, you have the qualifying volume is only at 33,600. Why? Because although leg 2 has 60,000 of volume, only 25,000 can be attributed to it. Again, this is all in the comp plan. You can take a look to see what the max volume requirements are for each leg, but for junior executive, it is 25,000, which means the other 25,000 needed to reach rank has to come from other legs. It can come from 5 legs, 10 legs, or it can come from 1 leg or 2 legs. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's distributed and no one leg exceeds the maximum volume. So this one would not qualify. Now, in this case, trying to get switch it up a little bit for you just so you can understand. Again, if you do the math here, all right, you have 15,000 from one leg, 25,000, that's 40,000. Leg 3 has 10, that's 50,000. No one leg is exceeding the amounts here. Why did this person not reach rank qualification? Very important. Personal volume was not met. All right, so if you take a look here, you need $2,500 and this person only has invested $500. So in this scenario, the person would just need to invest up to $2,500. Once they reach that $2,500 investment mark, then they themselves also qualify for the rank achievement. All right, so this is the reason why we built the system the way that it did, to make sure that teams are being properly assisted, distribution of balances are being met, but also allowing teams to be able to build with synergy based on whatever reason you may feel that they need to. So again, if you guys have any questions, you can reach us at support@novatechfx.io. If you need any assistance with placement, again, just please remember your downlines do not have access to their back office until you have placed them. So try to make a habit of just checking your user placement or your holding tank at least once a day, to make sure that if you are giving out your link and you're recommending people to join you, that you are also assisting them and getting them placed as quickly as possible. All right, again, my name is 𝙏𝙖𝙖𝙑 with NovaTech. Thank you for joining us. Bye.